Welcome to the world of scale modeling with Mike Ashe, where techniques, tips, and creativity come alive with dozens of tutorials, projects, tape-up reviews, and picture references to help you build better scale models and enjoy our wonderful hobby. Hello everybody, this is episode 9B of Building and Detailing the Monogram-Revell 148 scale B-25J. I'll be working on gluing the top half of the fuselage halves together. But what I'm going to do here is I'm going to speed it up a little bit, but you're still going to be able to see all the things I needed to do in order to get the fuselage halves to fit together correctly with little or no step between the fuselage halves. Here I'm following the same technique that I used when I glued the underside together. First, I made sure that the fuselage halves fit together tightly and that there was little or no step between the halves, and then I slowly added tiny beads of superglue along the seam line. In gluing this small seam between the aft end of the cockpit and the forward half of where the turret goes, it's really important to have the fuselage halves line up where the canopy sits. It's much easier to fix the area where the turret goes in, that circle area, rather than to try to fix that straight line where the canopy attaches to the fuselage. Here I'm trying to manipulate the extreme forward half of the fuselages, to try to get that lip in the front half of the cockpit to line up together. So what I ended up doing was being able to push the port side forward, and then what I did was I applied a tiny drop of super glue there, and then before that glue set, I very, very quickly pushed that side forward and got it to line up. The glue was starting to lose its viscosity, so I replaced it, and I pulled off to the left-hand side of the screen there and scraped the excess glue off of the tip of the applicator so it wouldn't drop a big glob of glue onto the seam area. Now it's time to start removing the tape and glue those areas that were underneath the tape. My good friend and president of IPMS USA, Dave Lockhart, was with me that day that I was working on gluing the upper part of the fuselage halves together, and I demonstrated to him my gluing technique. And yes, those are his hands pointing stuff out to me. Slightly blowing onto the surface of the superglue helps it set very quickly. So yes, that's my head, and I'm actually blowing some hot air onto the surface of the superglue to get it to set. All that's left is to remove the tape from the lower half of the fuselage and glue those tiny areas. So stay tuned for episode 10, where I show you my techniques for scraping, sanding, how I use silver paint to detect flaws and areas where I need additional work and superglue, and polishing and rescribing along the seam lines. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give us a thumbs up. And when you get the chance, visit our website at www.mikeashley.com, where you're going to find dozens of free PDF downloads, including tutorials, picture references, model galleries, projects, and my 5 original scale modeling books. Thanks to Ben Sound and Videvo for the royalty-free music, and happy scale modeling!